world just keeps expanding after every quest we do. Completed 2001 and 2002. 22 full years of questing became death enough for me. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman questing through 2003. Welcome back to May 7th, 2003. Just starting the process of using all these feathers I got from training magic last time. Doing some fishing and cooking and woodcutting and fire making. 49 fire making. It's an interesting level. Got 2 quest requirements and all the varieties of bullseye lanterns. Amazing. We could probably make the entire process of making that, so that'll be useful in the future. Bullseye lanterns are a very solid light source. Much better than the candle and torch that currently exists. But it gets the job done. It gets the job done. And also, we can just cook some of these fish here. Got plenty of fish for 83 cooking. That is blue crab potatoes in Damonheim. Yay. Probably not going to make any of those. Yeah, 83 cooking. Still by far highest level. 2.6 million XP. 1.8 million in fishing. And total experience is 8.3 million. So, between fishing and cooking, that's a large percentage of the XP. Which makes sense with all the fishing cooking we do. Eventually we will have other AFK activities. But for now, this is still helpful. So, more of this. Well, more of this for me. Whether or not it's going to be more of this for you is a good question. Next level is probably going to be like 167,000 fishing XP, 277,000 cooking XP. It's going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit. There's another golden cape shard for the golden cape that we can't get. Alright. Don't need that clogging up the inventory. Another 1,000 feathers used with nothing interesting happening. So we are out here in an empty field south of the coal trucks to go over updates and such. On May 20th, 2003, they were doing some maintenance on the billing / customer support / message center servers. So all of those features would be unavailable while they're working on it. Always good to make sure that the billing is working correctly. That's pretty important. On May 22nd, 2003, and another website reorganization. Get the most useful information out as easily as possible. And also another God letters. Some interesting stuff in there. On May 26th, 2003, we got more sneak peeks of images for the 3D update. But it's really expanded beyond just being a 3D update at this point. So now it's being called the new RuneScape engine because of all the other things that are being added. Like an improved user interface, including such marvelous ideas as multiple people being able to talk to the same NPC at the same time. Previously, well, still at this point, you can only talk to an NPC with one person. So, like if you're going to the bank, say, and there's a bunch of people trying to use it, only one person can talk to the banker to access their bank at the same time. This is also obviously a problem when quests were released and everybody would go flock to the starting NPC. At some points, multiple copies of the NPC are placed down right next to each other in order to let people actually do things. So, avoiding that in the future will be helpful. Also, you get stuff like more details on the map, a better scripting system for just everything. All very good. It also answered a few questions of how this whole new game basically is going to work. All characters will be copied over into the new system, so you don't have to worry about losing all your progress that you've made. So that's nice. It's also going to have a smaller download due to improved compression. So people still using 56K modems, rejoice. Even though it's going to look a lot better, be a lot more fancy, you're not going to have problems. Well, compared to how things currently are for you. So, there you go. They want to get the key elements done by June and start the public beta in July. We will see how that goes. And since we're talking about opening up new servers with new things, it's another opportunity to remind everyone that no, we're not going to be opening up the beta servers on a completely different website. Don't enter your password there. It's just a constant stream of reminders to please stop doing that. Eventually, it'll just be given up. People will never learn, will they? On to an actual update that's here now, not a beta sometime in the future. On May 27th, 2003, the place we are here now exists. We've got a little camp here, south of the coal truck, and the accompanying quest. Dwarf Cannon. Requirements? None. Items? None. Brilliant. Although we might need a hammer. But there's a hammer in here. So we'll take it. Also get attacked by these bats. Rude. Anyways. With no requirements, this is obviously a very easy quest. The bat is really coming for us. Get out of here. Don't need you interrupting my conversations with Captain Logoff. So let's start. Hello. Gothics be praised. The cavalry has arrived. Hero, how would you like to be made an honorary member of the Black Guard? The Black Guard? What's that? Ha ha. What's that, he asks. What a sense of humor. The Black Guard is the finest regiment in the Dwarven army. Only the best of the best are allowed to join it, and then they receive months of rigorous training. However, we are currently in need of a hero, so for a limited time only, I'm offering you, a human, a chance to join this prestigious regiment. What do you say? Accept. Dwarf Cannon. Sure, I'd be honored to join. That's the spirit. Now, trooper, we have no time to waste. The goblins are attacking from the forests to the south. There are so many of them, they are overwhelming my men and breaking through our perimeter defenses. Could you please try to fix the stockade by replacing the broken rails with these new ones? Sure, sounds easy enough. The dwarf captain gives you 6 railings. Report back to me once you've fixed the railings. Yes, sir, Captain. Alright. So now we have 6 railings to repair the fence with. In a pretty hilarious twist, originally the quest was not made correctly to actually have you fix the railings. So you just drop the railings and talk to him again. Hello. Hello, trooper. How are you doing with those railings? I'm getting there. Goblins are still getting in. There must still be some broken railings. But I'm out of railings. That's okay, we've got plenty. Here you go. Give you some more railings. So, originally that would say, yeah, I'm done. I don't have any railings left. Clearly that means I've completed the task. Then you would just continue on. Wild stuff. So now, we actually need to fix the railings. And we can see which ones are broken. Ever so slightly. Railing is broken and needs to be replaced. The attempt to fix the broken railing is now fixed. Presumably this rolls off of your smithing and crafting levels, which we have very nice levels in. So we fix it, now it's fixed. Just kind of go around edge of the railing here, looking for any broken bits. 6 in total. There's one. We'll see if we can succeed all 6 of them. Nope. Arms start getting tired. But we fixed it anyway. You can hurt yourself trying to fix the railings by like hammering your fingers. And that can do damage. And certain people have managed to lose their hardcore status by hammering their fingers too hard on these railings. So, let's try to not do that, shall we? But we are good enough at all this that it shouldn't be a problem. One more. There it is. And replaced. I have fixed all the railings now. Brilliant. So now the perimeter is secure. Very good. Well done, trooper. The goblins seem to have stopped getting in. I think you've done the job. Great. I'll be getting on then. What? I'll have you jailed for desertion. Besides, I have another commission for you. Just before the goblins overran us, we lost contact with our watchtower to the south. That's why the goblins managed to catch us unawares. I'd like you to perform a covert operation into enemy territory to check up on the guards we have stationed there. They should have reported in by now. Okay, I'll see what I can find out. Excellent. I have 2 men there. The dwarf in charge is called Gilab. Find him and tell him that I'll send him a relief guard just as soon as we mop up these remaining goblins. Brilliant. And they're talking about the goblins to the south. Here's some goblins to the south. There's a decent number of goblins to the south. And this is the watchtower here. Let's pop up into it. Well, all of this down here is also new. Unsurprisingly. Climb up to the top. And instead of finding the guards that were stationed here, we just find some dwarf remains on the floor. Savaged by goblins. I'd better take these remains. So, not only did they overrun the outpost, they also really overrun the outpost. So that's not good. Hello. Have you been to the watchtower yet? I have some terrible news for you, Captain. The goblins overran the tower. Your guards fought well, but were overwhelmed. You give the dwarf captain his subordinate's remains. I can't believe it. Gilab was the finest lieutenant I had. We'll give him a fitting funeral. But what of his command? His son, Lulk, was with him. Did you find his body too? No? There was only one body there. I searched pretty well. The goblins must have taken him. Please, traveler, seek out the goblins' hideout and return the lad to us. They always attack from the southeast, so they must be based down there. Okay, I'll see if I can find their hideout. Alright. A goblin base to the southeast. If we head immediately southeast from here, that is the fishing guild. I don't think the goblins are stationed in the fishing guild. We even absolutely know that because 60-something fishing wasn't a requirement for the quest. So we don't need to go in the fishing guild. Instead, we find more goblins hanging around a cave entrance. So let's pop in here, shall we? We unlock a new music track. Music doesn't exist yet. But here we find lots more goblins. This is definitely the place. Run through all the goblins. They are very bold, being aggressive to us. A reasonably accomplished guard there, I suppose. So we got all these goblins here. Besides the guard, they don't seem to really care. But we need to find a dwarf in here. Got a few places that aren't places yet. We're going to look in boxes. Spider jumps out of the crate. And the goblin attacked us for looking in his crate. That's fair. Search the crate. Inside you see a dwarf child tied up. So we untie the child. Thank the heavens. You saved me. I thought I'd be a goblin lunch for sure. He's looking absolutely wild. Like your spiky necklace. The original dwarf child was much different looking. Are you okay? I think so. I better run off home. That's right. You get going. I'll catch up. Thanks again, brave adventurer. Dwarf child runs off into the caverns. Once again, probably could have been an escort if that was a thing that was possible. Just having everybody run off through the cave full of goblins. I mean, I don't see how that's really going to work exactly. But we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to climb back out of this mud pile and head back to the captain. Wonder if he knows the fate of his captain here. Back at the outpost. Depends on what order the goblins did things. Did they kidnap and then murder, or murder and then kidnap? Get out of here. That's what you get. Anyways, managed to save one person. Oh, there you go. Hello. Has Wolk returned yet? He has, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without you, he'd be a goblin barbecue. Always a pleasure to help. In that case, could I ask one more favor of you? That predates something. We'll have quips about that in the future. Anyways. When the goblins attacked us, some of them managed to slip past my guards and sabotage our cannon. I don't have anybody who understands how it works. Could you have a look at it and see if you could get it working for us? Please? Okay, I'll see what I can do. Thank you. Take this toolkit. You'll need it. Report back to me if you manage to fix it. So here is a broken multi-cannon. I guess I better fix this with the toolkit I was given. Use the toolkit. And here we go. So we got various bits here. We can do the thing with the thing. We can pull the thing. Do the thing. Which rotates back. So we will hook the spring. Pull the thing. Well done, you fixed the cannon. We're going to tell Captain log off. That little interface is new. Originally it was just try, and then probably succeed. There you go. Hello again. Hello there, trooper. How's things? Well, I think I've done it. Take a look. That's fantastic. Well done. Well, I don't believe it. It seems to be working perfectly. I seem to have underestimated you, trooper. Not bad for an adventurer, eh. Not bad at all. Your effort is appreciated, my friend. Now, if I could figure out what this thing uses as ammo. The Black Guard forgot to send instructions. I know I said that was the last favor, but... What now? I can't leave this post. Could you go to the Black Guard base and find out what this thing actually shoots? Okay then, just for you. That's great. We were lucky you came along when you did. The base is located just south of the Ice Mountain. You'll need to speak to Nolodian, the Dwarf Cannon Engineer. He's the weapons development chief for the Black Guard. So if anyone knows how to fire this thing, it'll be him. Okay, I'll see what I can do. So he needs us to head to Ice Mountain, which is definitely a trip. Luckily, we can just teleport over to Falador, and we're pretty much right where we need to be. Also, while we're over here, we can look at the other bit of the update for today. That is changes to fatigue and mining. First up, at all general stores, at least for the most part, you can now get a sleeping bag. And sleeping bags have since been removed, so now we go from sleeping bag exists in the future to sleeping bag is gone forever. Sleeping bags are better for on-the-go fatigue restoration, so you don't need to trek all the way back to a bed constantly. They are slower though, so pros and cons. But not having to travel does have its benefits. And just need to answer the simple CAPTCHA, and then you're good to go for more training. All skills now give a small amount of fatigue, so whether you are training combat or doing some crafting, eventually you will get too tired. But along with the sleeping bag, it's not a huge deal. You can get away with it. You can keep going. And it also works a little bit as a anti-botting mechanic. It's something at least. Now, instead of starting looking at the Norman outpost there and continue with the quest, we've got the mining update to look into down here. First up, there's no more hard and soft rocks. They're all the same now. But they did keep the visual indicator of whether or not any ore existed. So you don't need to hope that each individual ore rock has some ore in it. And you also don't need to click for every attempt anymore, even with the changes, because there is new pickaxes, finally. All the way up to the Rune Pickaxe, which we can literally just buy from a shop. Axes continue to be just completely unavailable to us. We can just literally swoop in here, buy a Rune Pickaxe, and be living the dream. That is going to be so much better than bronze. The original value of the Rune Pickaxe was its ability to mine 12 times. Well, not exactly mine 12 times. It makes 12 attempts at mining. So, depending on how high level the ore you're trying to get, 12 attempts at mining could be good enough. Especially for higher level ores, you can get quite a few tries out of it. With the eventual mining and smithing rework, that kind of system doesn't exist. But it is a much better pickaxe. Should be like level 50 pickaxe. Let's pop into here, into tools. Yep, level 50. So, eventually it's like level 40 or 41, but now it's 50. Either way, we can still use it. So that's fantastic for us. So if we want to do some mining and smithing training, it'll be a bit quicker. The only thing we still need to be concerned about is the actual smelting and smithing portion. Because getting things to furnaces and anvils, one inventory at a time, still not great. But we do have a few things that could help with that idea. Like nature runes. So we will consider that in the future. We do have some options. And we even have mithril rocks that exist for us down in the Grand Tree Mine. So with a little bit of magic and contemplating what we're going to be doing here, we could be making some mithril stuff for faster experience. Although we'll figure out if getting the nature runes actually slows it down. And also in the future, there's going to be new ways to get nature runes, so there's a lot of things we need to consider. Lots of stuff. But that is pretty much the mining rework again. Back to the quest at hand. They've got their new cannon here, so we know we are in the right place. We need to find Nolodian. He is over here. Nolodian. Talk to. Hello there. Can I help you? Captain Logoff sent me. He's having trouble with his cannon. Of course. We forgot to send the ammo mold. It fires a mold? Don't be silly. The ammo is made by using a mold. Here, take these to him. The instructions explain everything. That's great, thanks. Thank you, adventurer. The Black Guard will remember this. We are being very helpful. He also gave us some notes here. We can read. Ammo for the dwarf multi-cannon must be made from steel bars. The bars must be heated in a furnace and used with the ammo mold. Very simple instructions for the ammo mold here. Brilliant. And now, we need to get all the way back over to the coal trucks area, which is easily doable by teleporting to Ardoin here. Nature runes, down to 90 some. That's still plenty. Or, law runes, rather. This should hold us over until law runes are more available. Or possibly we might be getting a whole bunch of law runes. We will see what the drop tables of things end up being. Either way. Back over here. Back up towards the fishing guild. And then around the side. So, with this update, the fishing guild is now surrounded by goblins. So, hopefully their little tiny wooden wall does better than the railings do. Or the fishermen might be the next victims. Not gonna worry about that. Not gonna worry about that. Talk to Captain Longoff. Hi. Hello, trooper. Any word from the cannon engineer? Yes, I've spoken to him. He gave me an ammo mold and some notes to give to you. Ah, of course. We make the ammo. This is great. Now we will be able to defend ourselves. I don't know how to thank you. You could give me a cannon? Ah, you'd be lucky. Those things are worth a fortune. I'll tell you what, though. I'll write to the cannon engineer, requesting him to sell you one. He controls production of the cannons. He won't be able to give you one, but for the right price, I'm sure he'll sell one to you. Sounds interesting. I might take you up on that. And that is quest complete. 1 quest point, 750 crafting experience, which would have been 2,950 due to our advanced crafting level. Permission to buy a dwarf multi-cannon, ability to smith the cannonballs, and once the tool belt updates happen, we can even put the ammo mold on the tool belt. So that's nice. Now, we were given the ability to purchase a cannon and make the cannonballs to use the cannon. That's definitely a thing. That's definitely a thing. I don't think it's going to go quite that well. For starters, we would have to make the cannonballs from steel, and that's a lot less experience per steel bar. Also slower. It might not be slower at this point due to the smithing rework. But overall, I don't think making cannonballs would be a good choice. And then there's the issues with the cannon itself. I can't afford a cannon. They're $750K. I can't afford a cannon, and that is okay. I can't afford a cannon, and even if I could, they would take up so much space I do not think I should. So we will just ignore that, not buy an ammo mold, and go on to the future, to stories yet untold. There are big grinds upcoming, of this I will not lie, but we will worry about that next time. Goodbye.